I think the first thing I always talk about is that when I was a child, I always knew things about people. I always had that sixth sense. I had encounters with aliens and ETs and angels ever since I was, 4 or 5 years old. And I'd always see the aura, the lights around people. And unfortunately, you're told, don't talk about that. Why do you know that? You shouldn't know that. Don't ever say that again, or you're called crazy. And my dad, who was a holy roller, Jesus zealot, he always told me that I must be possessed. So unfortunately, you learn. It's very conflicting because you know what you're experiencing, you know what you are seeing. The feedback is that you're shocking people with what you know, so you know that it's true, and yet you're told that you're crazy. You're told that shut up, don't talk about that. Unfortunately, I turned to drugs and alcohol by the time I was 12 or 13 years old because I didn't want to feel it anymore. I didn't want to know things anymore. I didn't want to hear the voices anymore. I didn't want to see the lights anymore. And I found that if I, had that vodka or whatever it may be, I didn't, everything shut off. And so it accumulated at a high school party. In fact, it was about 38 years ago at this time in 1986 at the Canterbury Inn and Suites in Coralville, Iowa, which is still there. And so I was trying to, or at least I thought I was trying to impress my high school classmates by chugging a fifth of vodka, 4 beers, 2 glasses of wine, and about 3 or 4 wine coolers in about 90 minutes. And so my body went into cardiac arrest, and I was dead, unconscious, in a comatose state from acute alcohol poisoning. My skin was purple, green, and black. And I was completely on the floor of the bathroom in the hotel suite there. And the first thing that happened is you leave your body. And anyone who's had a near-death experience, John, will tell you that when you first leave your body, it's scary because all of a sudden you're aware that you're not alive anymore. You're aware that your body is down there and you are somewhere else in another dimensional plane and another dimensional reality. So Russell, who was my grandfather, he passed away probably when I was around 3 years old, and he informed me that I was going home. So I thought that I screwed up, and then you go into the light, and in the light I was greeted by 7 angels. They were 14 feet tall each, all female in appearance, and they showed me, and anyone who's also had a near-death experience, to talk about this life review that happens. We do really review our lives. And as they showed me my life, and of course, anytime that I was angry, resentful, or blamed other people, they just asked, how does that relate to love? And everything in life is an opportunity to express love. Forgiveness means forgiving your love away. And that's what every opportunity in your life is for. It's an opportunity to forgive love. It's for giving your love away. If you're always out getting the car, the house, the Rolex watch, whatever it may be, if you're forgetting things, you are forgetting who you really are. And you see, as a child, I would dream over and over again that everything I wanted. I didn't go to Disneyland until I was like 37 or 30 years old, but Disneyland, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, feeling love, feeling like you belonged, that you were wanted. I would dream every night about my bedroom closet, that those feelings of being loved, being wanted, all those things that I dreamed about as a child, I'd find within my bedroom closet. Well, 40 some years later, you realize that the metaphor of that dream was about everything that you want is already within your heart, right here. It's inside within you. And so then during that near-death experience, they introduced me to a being that was 30 feet tall. I've been to Egypt a few times. You go over to Abu Simbel, you see these beings that are 30 to 40 feet tall. The giants in the Old Testament talks about the giants in those days were the giants. They saw the wives of, or the Nephilim. So this 30-foot being had all this love, compassion for me. It knew who I was. It was male in appearance. And then the angels in this being, because when you're on the other side, everything exists now. It's a multi-dimensional universe. Everything is simultaneous. And they talked to me about sacred geometry, sound, healing through sound, and the Melchizedek priesthood. And there was a lot of information that was downloaded to me. And in a moment, or what we would say in a flash, like a flash of lightning, I witnessed the soul that was in my body from the time that I was conceived to 16, gone with my grandfather Russell. And then this other being that was 30 feet tall came in, formed an icosahedron, a platonic solid, and came into my heart and brought me back to life. And so I'm called a walk-in. That's what but there was an exchange, and a walk-in, or some people would say it was another aspect of me from another time, another place that came down through time, dimensional reality. I've said this many times before, that on page 262 of Barbara Ann Brennan's book, The Hands of Light, it says that future lifetimes can be placed in the energetic field and can be taken on completion at the end of a lifetime if an individual so chooses. So there was this change or transfer from who I was to this other being. And, for 3 or 4 days, everyone seemed like to be like this big to me. I really didn't know where I was at or what was going on. And by the 4th or 5th day, all of a sudden, everything clicked into place. I was Mark. I was a sophomore at Iowa City West High School. That was my mom, and all of a sudden, I took on the identity of Mark. So, that's in a nutshell what happened. But the other thing I would just say over and over again is that you are loved. The love that heaven, God, whatever you want to call it, has for you, you cannot fathom. It is pure peace, pure joy, pure love, pure knowing. You know that you're one with God, that there's this oneness. And it's always about a journey of remembering that what we call God is within you. That's within everyone. It's not only is it with everyone, but within everyone, it's everywhere in all places. And we keep being taught that, you experience God in the afterlife. You can experience God right now, right here today, whatever God means to you. I didn't know what happened. I didn't tell anyone about what happened to me. I just didn't talk about it. I didn't share about it. It was so, when you're 16 and you're going through all the changes from becoming a boy to a man, you're in high school, you're awkward, you're going through all these awkward emotions and feelings anyway, and you had a bunch of classmates who all saw that you were unconscious, dead on the bathroom floor of the Canterbury Inn. And all of a sudden, boom, you're back. It's kind of weird, to share that experience. I did tell my best friend, Dean, who is a chiropractor and acupuncture in Iowa City, Iowa. He's still there. And I told the girl that I was dating in Charleston at the time. There were really the only 2 people that I knew. And then, I've told this many, again, I've told the same story since 1997. I've never deviated from this story, and I never will. So in 10 years, almost 10 years later, I get a phone call from a woman I never met, never spoke with before. I don't know how she got my number. And she described verbatim in detail my near-death experience. She talked to me about the being that came into me. She called me a walk-in. She described that they talked to me about sound, sacred geometry, healing through sound, the Melchizedek priesthood. She knew about the dream about my bedroom closet that I had as a child. And she talked to me about that. And so for me, it was, validation. And it was about a year after I met her, I came out publicly and started talking about my near-death experience. I spoke in August of 97 at the Mastering Life Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico, where I was going to undergraduate. And then I went on to graduate school there as well.